What's up, HELLRAISERS? Welcome back to another video. This is one of my most requested videos of all time. Two of my subscribers who I am very close friends with, they honestly said, Tevin, make a list with your top 10 favorite directors of all time. And honestly, I'm sorry for keeping you two waiting, but the list is finally here. I'm finally done. The reason list took so long for me to do is because I literally have to sit down and place these directors in order on how I will rate them. However, I'm still not comfortable with the list I have here. I still feel like I don't have them in the right order, but let's just get on with the list. Number 10 is a director who I've always kept my eyes on, and this guy deserves a lot of praise for how fantastic he is, from his lighting, from his character design, and I'm talking about Jack Sandor. I'm not really good at pronouncing his name, but honestly, he caught me by surprise when he came out with The Army of the Dead, and one of my closest friends said, check this out, you might be interested. When I found out that he was behind it, and he was the one that did Dawn of the Dead, which I also like, with another zombie fucking film, I knew I was going to like The Army of the Dead. If you want to see my review on The Army of the Dead, I try to remember to link that in the description down below. But honestly, The Army of the Dead is just a fantastic fucking movie, just like Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is pretty much the same, but a lot different. The Army of the Dead, these zombies mean business, and they ain't stopping until they get what the fuck they want. Like I said, if you want to see what I think of The Army of the Dead, that video will be linked in the description down below. Number 9 would be no other than a 80s legend. This guy, when you think of the 80s, when you think of 10 movies in the 80s, when you think of drama, when you think of like all kinds of crazy family-friendly type movies in the 80s, look no further, you think about John Hughes himself. This guy directed 2 films that I love, that is The Breakfast Club and Weird Science. I love both of those movies to death, especially The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club, is one of those films that I enjoy watching still to this day. And I just recently watched it not that long ago. I would definitely be dropping a review on that soon, if I ever get that time. But like I said, I love that movie. This guy know how to direct movies. He know how to get those real emotional sides of you to come out. He know how to connect you with the characters. He know how to keep the characters focused very well. He has great storytelling. I mean, this guy literally knows his movies, and he deserves just great praise for how phenomenal he is as a director. And what the hell? This list would not be made if I didn't include this man's name on this list. That is my boy, Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg is a legendary director. Literally, every time this guy touched a movie, honestly, and this is not clickbait. This is not clickbait. Every time this guy put his name behind the movie, and people know it's him, instantly the movie become an instant classic, regardless. Like, this guy, everything he touched is just pure gold. Like I said, not clickbait, but he honestly is that good of a damn director. I would love for my name to be like that. Every time somebody see my name on a movie, it's instant classic. I would love to have that reputation. I mean, who the hell would not? But like I said, Steven Spielberg made 2 movies that I like, that is Door and Jaws. All these directors made a lot of movies that I like, but these are like the top 2 movies that I like by these directors. But like I said, Steven Spielberg, Door and Jaws. Door is a very interesting movie. It's a very mystery movie that came out in 1971. And honestly, that was his first movie he ever directed. You can tell he was destined for greatness. And honestly, he deserved it. Especially how, like, he came a long ass way. He gave you such fantastic movies, stuff like E.T. and so much more. I can make a whole video about this guy. But 7, we have a director that caught me by surprise. Now, my oldest sister, who loves to watch some of his movies, and she knows exactly who she is. She loves, like, detectives and cops-like movies. Like, she loves stuff that got anything to do with Law and Order, whatever. Like I said, my sister love stuff like this. And because of her, David Fincher is one. He is a phenomenal director. I love this guy directing still. He is a director. Now pay attention. He is a director that zoom in and out of objects you don't normally see other directors zoom in and out of. I know that.
That's what she said.
I know that sounds a bit of like confusion, but trust me when I say, if you ever wanted to see what it looked like when you put the key inside the doorknob, he would literally take the camera and aim it inside there and show you what it looked like when you put the key in to unlock a door. He would zoom in and out of flashlights, and it's just so weird. And one of my two favorite movies by him is Panic Room and Seven. Especially Panic Room. Panic Room is one of my favorite mystery thrillers of all time. That movie, I'm telling you, I gotta review that movie. But like I said, that movie is fucking awesome. And the things he do in that movie is just so fantastic. Oh my goodness. This guy deserves a lot of praise just like every damn director on this list. David Fincher, number 7. Number 6, we have M. Night. Now, I don't know how to say his other name. I think it's M. Night Shyamalan or something like that, but I call him M. Night. It's a whole lot easier for me. But he is one of those directors that I grew up watching, and one of my favorite movies by him will honestly have to be The Sixth Sense. But I don't really, I like that movie, but it's not the movie I will always go back to rewatch. Once you know what happened in that film, you would never go back and rewatch it. But the main two movies that I put on this list was the movie called Split with James Markovitz, something like that. And then another movie called Signs with Mel Gibson. These two movies right here by M. Night is just great fucking movies. And honestly, M. Night know how to tell a good story, but sometimes his execution is not always done perfectly. Like I said in my other review with a movie called Old, which I linked that in the description down below. The problem with Old is that the whole idea, the concept was good, but the execution did not work. That's the same problem with some of his other films. His execution did not really pay off with the vision that he was going for. But these two movies right here is some pretty interesting movies. He did what he was supposed to do. I enjoy these fucking films, especially Split. I love that movie to death. Number 5. Now, number 5 is a director that I would normally put in my top 3, but I'm not comfortable with having him here, but I literally have to drop him right here. That is my boy. One of my favorite directors of all time is John Carpenter. John Carpenter is a director that I always looked up to, and one of the reasons for that is because John Carpenter used practical effects. Practical effect is what works best. That will always shine to the top. It will always stand as what you're supposed to use. Don't use CGI. Even John Carpenter even once said, he said that CGI don't show how talented you are. It shows how weak you are. So please, watch this movie. You will know exactly what I'm talking about. And the top 2 movies that I like by him is The Thing, 1982, and Christine. Especially The Thing. The Thing is just a fantastic movie. I love that movie. That is one of my favorite science fiction movie of all time. That movie is a straight up A+ for me. And honestly, John Carpenter, you are the man. Number 4 is Tim Burton. Now, a lot of people is familiar with him. A lot of people don't like any of his movies. I think some of his movies is pretty good. I love how he have his movies. He have this whole dark, gothic type stuff going on. Every time if you were watching a movie, and if you didn't know who the director was, and if I told you who it was, you'd be like, oh, he was the guy that made The Nightmare Before Christmas. He was the guy that made Edward Scissorhands and this and this. You would know exactly who he is based off the way his movies look. He has that signature thing with his movies. It's always dark. and very gritty looking. And I mean, his movies is insane. I do love how he is probably the only director on this entire list that make his movies literally stand out from every other director in the entire universe. Period. My favorite two movies by him would be Edward Scissorhands, starring Ramona Rado and Johnny Depp. Then Beetlejuice, starring Michael Keaton and Alec Baldwin and so much more. Those are the only two movies that I really enjoyed by him. I like other films, but those are my top two I will always go to rewatch. Like I said, this guy he is also a legendary in terms of making movies. Number three is another director that I've always kept my eyes on from day one. When I started first Star movie, I knew that it was something about that director I was gonna like. And that is, of course, no other than James Wan himself. This guy right here is exactly, like, he pretty much inspired me to want to become a director. I've always wanted to do it. Wes Craven is the biggest reason why I wanted to make movies. But he really did, like, he literally just pushed it for me. And with his creativity and his vision, is the reason why horror movies is even getting a little bit of respect that it deserves is because of him. Because he literally resurrected the horror movie genre and brought it back to what it's supposed to be. And without James Wan, honestly, this movie would have never worked. He made great movies, a lot of great fucking movies. He made Final Destination, the Insidious film. He did the new movie that came out recently. I'll try to link that in the description down below. I already reviewed it. But this guy is a fucking legend when it comes down to horror movies. And my two favorite movies by him will be The Conjuring and Insidious, as I always said before. But like I said, those two are great films, especially The Conjuring. The Conjuring is what really pushed him out that day. He ain't bullshitting. He literally telling you that he is going to be he's gonna mark his word. He's gonna mark his legacy and being one of your top favorite directors of all time. The two should have easily been my number one, but these two directors, like I said, have been button heads for so long when it come down to being my favorite, and that is, of course, Alfred Hitchcock, right here at number two. Alfred Hitchcock is a very talented director. This guy is the most positive part of my life. When I watch his film, it reminds me why I have so much passion for wanting to direct movies and write my own movie script. And I mean, just him alone is just, it reminds me where my passion started from. Watching him talk about his movies, and he don't call his movies movies, he called them masterpiece. And honestly, I can see why. And this guy is such a huge positive goal for me, and this is exactly what I'm chasing, to become a legendary director just like him. Honestly, this guy is, may he rest in peace. Let's just move on. My favorite two movies by him to me will be Psycho, 1960, and of course, Weird Window. Both of those movies are good movies. I enjoy those movies. But Psycho is my favorite movie of all time, period. No movie will ever break that. That right there, that is the number one movie I will always watch. I don't always watch it because I don't want to always bone that movie out, because I love that movie so much, I don't want to bone it out and I will end up hating the movie. And now the director that has really took me by storm, by surprise, that is no other than the late great Wes Craven himself. This guy right here is, honestly, if you don't know who he is, you probably want to pick up a goddamn book or get on the internet and Google Wes Craven, because honestly, you must know who this guy is. Honestly, Wes Craven is an icon when it comes down to his directing skills, his vision, his idea. Everything about this guy is literally the definition of what I want to be, a legendary director, and I want people to always remember that. Pretty much just like every director on this list is a huge positive vibe for me, and all these directors have given me great vision to see things from a different perspective. Go out there and make some of the very best movies of all time. Rex Traver, even though there's a lot of things that Rex did completely wrong when it come down, namely like the Stream franchise, for example, those links will be in the description down below. But like I said, Rex is huge positive when it come down to making film. One of my two favorite films by him would have to be Nightmare on Elm Street and Coast. Those two movies right there is awesome. Nightmare on Elm Street is legendary, just like he is. But I don't want to go on with this list for too long, but this is my own personal list. These are my top 10 favorite directors of all time. I might do a part 2 because there's so many more directors out there that I like. But honestly, don't get offended if you don't see a director on here that you like. Let me know your favorite directors in the comment down below. So if you want to get in touch with me, all my social media link will be in the description down below. Also, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell notification. And I hope to see you HELLRAISERS in the next video. So don't forget, keep a beautiful smile on your face, stay positive, and I'll see HELLRAISERS in the next video. Peace.